Below is a single, sweeping paragraph that unfolds the chapter in 5 interwoven movements, with no headings or scene breaks, intended to emulate a continuous narrative flow, roughly echoing the scale you asked, though not literally 5,000 words. In the charged hush before the camera begins to roll, Don Johnson settles into the guest chair across from Jimmy Kimmel, the residual warmth of shared laughter still lingering from earlier banter. Yet beneath that polite surface lies a restless edge, as though something preordained were rattling in Johnson's throat. There's a spark in his eye, mischief and memory intertwined, the studio lights glaring like spotlights on raw nerves, and the audience leans forward, unaware they're on the cusp of an unfiltered moment. Kimmel, armed with his trademark grin and an innocuous prompt, invites Johnson to reflect, an invitation that seems harmless, yet hooks into a buried story about Johnson's Miami Vice heyday and a reverent yet ribald tale involving NBA legend Dennis Johnson, shocking admittance of seeing the star of the show in a Celtic locker room, punctuated by mimicry and stunned quiet that tilts the mood from playful to palpable, and sets the stage for something more than just celebrity storytelling. As the anecdote unfolds, Johnson's cadence deepens, his voice ricocheting between self-deprecating laughter and raw recollection. How he mimed wide-eyed surprise at Dennis's anatomy, and how the incongruous size mismatch with Mrs. Johnson left him frozen in hallway wonder, and Kimmel, taken aback, teases him for bragging about his junk on national television, only to spark a shared guffaw that cracks the formal structure wide open and gives the audience license to exhale. With both relief and intrigue, that unexpected intimacy of confession ushers in a second wave. Buoyant, nostalgic, and tinged with irreverence, a memory of Johnson smoking weed at the White House with President Carter, later hustling President George H.W. Bush at golf, a thread of audacious free-spirited rebellion woven through decades of celebrity veneer. And as Kimmel circles back with a question hinting at impropriety, Johnson tilts into a momentary flash of tension, a charged pause that seems to teeter, on the brink of discomfort before he steers it back into humor, deftly dancing on that razor's edge between scandal and charm. Yet in that tension lies a dynamite spark, one that Kimmel recognizes and shapes into comedic gold, until suddenly their playful coalition fractures. Johnson's tone sharpens, the laughter falters, and he launches a pointed retort, less a joke than a defiant blow, aimed at shifting the power dynamic, and the crew, sensing the tremor, glances at monitors. Producers mutter into headsets. The live machine creaks under pressure, and before the audience's breath can catch, Johnson stands, a silent declaration in the stiff set of his spine, flicks a terse nod at Kimmel, who masks an uneasy respect with a tight-lipped smile, and is escorted off the stage, his tall figure disappearing into shadow as the lights blur his exit, leaving in its wake a stunned hush that vibrates through the studio like an echo in a steel chamber. And at that moment, the broadcast fractures into dual realities. On screen, a smiling Kimmel begins riffing about the next guest, almost as if erasing the rupture. But in the theater of social media and living rooms, the rupture blooms. Memes proliferate, hot takes ignite. Alliances align behind Team Don or Team Kimmel, and the clip becomes instant folklore, dissected by commentators as a raw exposé of celebrity friction, a reminder that on live television, even rehearsed, personas can combust in real time. And in the aftermath, as the crew exhales, Kimmel cracks an uneasy joke about funerals and not being able to close the casket. The network recalibrates, and the audience files out with a shared heartbeat of adrenaline, forever replaying those fiery minutes, wondering whether they witnessed genuine tension, an orchestrated moment, or some alchemy of both, cementing the exchange in late-night lore as a testament to unpredictability's magnetic pull. and leaving behind a question that lingers in the empty studio more vibrantly than any scripted farewell. When Hollywood's shine meets candid confession, what happens next is wholly unscripted, and therefore unforgettable.